Tyson McGuffin here. I am on Cameo. If you want me to put together a special message or any sort of request, maybe it's pickleball related or maybe it's for a birthday, let me know. Take care. Have a good day. What's going on? My name is Tyson McGuffin. This is the McGuffin Show. Want to thank all of our viewers for tuning in this week. Also want to give a big shout out to all of our sponsors here. Be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube and turn on those notifications. If you have not subscribed to the McGuffin Pickleball Club, make sure you do that right now.
Get in the club.
Get in the club, baby. Be a club member. Kyle, what's up, man? What's up?
Hey,
What's up?
Not a lot, man. Just happy to get out of this snow next week. Get down to Florida. It's definitely the cold time of the year here, as you well know. I saw your Instagram the other day with it coming down. It's coming down pretty thick.
Flakes are pretty big, man. That's for sure. Yeah, snow's been flowing. It's been sprinkling in, you know. Sprinkling.
Work the sprinkle.
Work the sprinkle. Hey, work those sprinkles. Excited to see Sue and Mac again. Slum it at their house for another week. Get to hang out with Gracie Goo, a little longer. Gracie Goo.
They treat us way too well.
I love me
Great
some Sue
people.
and Mac. Love that little 2-person hot tub.
Oh, look out.
It's all there.
Your early morning, get up at 4 a.m. hot tub routine. I not the early morning guy that you are, but I've learned your tricks.
Knock on your door at 4:30.
Asking, yeah, ready to hit the tub.
Join me. No shorts.
I'm getting bored. Yeah. Take that bromance to a new level.
Take it to a new level. Okay, guys. So topics that we're going to be chatting about today is WPC coming up. World Pickleball Championships is coming up next weekend. Starts the team event starts Wednesday, and then we have 3 days of events, and then Sunday, kind of a different format. Sunday is the final, so they play all the finals on Sunday. I believe, singles is Thursday, gender doubles is Friday, and then mix is Saturday. And then I'm not too sure how he's doing it. I know last year he did like the top 4, made it to the last day, and then you played your semis and then played your finals or played your bronze after that. I don't know this year if he's going to do top 4 plays on that Sunday or.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think I read on the website it said finals, but that could mean semifinals, right? It still could be a couple of matches. And is that top for all the events, or is that just singles on championship day? Is it like it was last year? So it's singles, mixed, men's, gender, women's as well?
I believe so. Yeah, something along those lines. So WPC next week, and then we will also get into our instructional nugget. Kyle, did you watch the fights this last Saturday?
I didn't. I watched all the hype up, and you obviously more of a UFC guy than me, but I enjoy it, even though I didn't have a fighting or wrestler background. But definitely watched the hype, and be honest, hearing about it from you and others, a little surprised McGregor didn't get the job done.
God, it just broke my heart, man.
Breaks your heart, yeah.
It's like I've got so much love for that dude. It's like watching my son in like a wrestling match. I kid you not. I'm so freaking nervous, and there's so much anxiety going on in my body. So he fought Dustin Poirier. Guy's a freaking dog, man. He's a total beast. He ended up beating Justin Gagey, I don't know, last year, and he's won his last couple fights. Anyhow, the guy's freaking tough as nails. He's number 2 in the division. And about 4 or 5 years ago, he fought Connor. Connor knocked him out within 30 seconds. All the hype leading up to this fight, Connor said he was going to knock him out even quicker. And yeah, Connor definitely met his match. Connor won the first round, looked good. And yeah, second round. So Dustin, he started hitting some calf kicks. And so like late in the second round, Connor's calf gave out. And then once his calf gave out, then it kind of opened up his upper extremities. And the crazy thing is that the last couple fights that Connor's lost, he's never lost in his own game. He's lost with getting like, getting like submitted on the ground.
And, right.
Yeah. So
is Poirier, is that his normal style? Is he more of a striker, or is he more of a wrestler, ground guy, but he deviated from that?
Poirier is he's not a wrestler. No, the guy's just a freaking scrapper. And so it's like the first time in Connor's fight where he got knocked out and he got beat at his own game. Granted, I'm probably throwing excuses out there for him. His calf was pretty beat up, but Dustin looked good, man. I mean, Connor cracked him like the whole first round, cracked him a couple times and cracked him pretty good. And Dustin said in his post-match interview that when he felt that he could take Connor's punch in the first round and that he wasn't getting knocked out or that it wasn't doing that much damage, it like really opened up his eyes and like allowed him to be like belief. Yeah, gave him the belief and like allowed him to like get his chin in there a bit more and lean in and be more offensive. Yeah. And so it's kind of funny like that fighter mentality, like when you can take your opponent's punch, then it really opens up your offense, opens up your game. You don't have the handcuffs on. You can do a lot more. You're not
for sure
not so afraid to get hit and things of that nature. So yeah, he ended up getting knocked out second round. Oh, broke my heart. Had a hard time sleeping. Didn't play very good the next morning in pickleball.
You just roll out the excuses, roll them all out, just get them going. I'm trying to remember which day that was. That you didn't play very well.
Missing dinks left and right. Just thinking about my boy.
Playing depressed. But pretty impressive of Dustin though. If he did their last fight, got knocked out in 30 seconds, despite what they say, there's a seed of doubt. Like,
I
can't let this happen again.
Yeah, and Connor's got a pretty slick tongue. He's pretty clever. All the hype, all the trash talk, and when you can carve all that out and carve out a previous loss and perform the way that he did is pretty stinking good. So kudos to him, man. The guy's a total stud, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be fighting for a belt coming up. So
nice.
It's going to be exciting to see. Let's see what else is going on. So guess how many hours I've sat in a tattoo chair the last 2 weeks?
Okay, 2 weeks. All right, let's go with 2 days, like 7 hours at 14 hours. Am I close?
So I've let's see, 6, 12, 18, 20, 24 hours, 20. So
my gosh.
I've done 4 6-hour sessions. I even got the rose in the hand.
Got the full hand going,
which I've been wanting for a while.
Look at that go. So is it the whole, is it all the way shoulder, all the way down the hand now?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And is it totally done? Or do you have any more? Or is it, this is it?
I'm going to get Sky's name right here and then intertwined. It's going to say all good days. And this is definitely a very spicy spot. So, another little mental challenge, get in there and swallow it down.
Make sure you're live streaming, right?
Yeah, right.
We all want to see the pain.
Get in the practice.
No, looks good, man. Looks good. Man, I had no idea. It's a lot of time in the chair.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in Friday for my last little session at least for the next couple months, and get some stuff polished up. Actually, gonna get something on my neck. And it's going to be a little piece for Banks. It's going to be an angel wing, kind of up by my ear, and then her name and date of birth. So,
love it.
So yeah, heck yeah, man. But the little mental challenge, getting in there and sitting in there for about 6 hours. It's not so much the tattoo gun. It's more so like the 30-second wipe that occurs just time and time again, every stinking 20 to 30 seconds. So,
Sure.
yeah, it's not so much like the pain from the needle. It's more so just the irritation and your arm getting super swollen, and then all the constant wiping that gets a little annoying. But
How long is your arm pretty sore typically after you have like a full day of being in the chair like that?
you know what? Like I'm able to play the day after. I mean, it's a little
Okay.
sore and stuff like that, but as long as you use your ointment, all that good stuff, then it heals pretty well. But
Okay. Nice.
yeah, and different tattoo artists tattoo differently. Like there's some tattoo artists that are like a little heavier on your arm. They're not as light, so that tends to heal much longer. The guy that I'm seeing, he has like a specific gun that's a little lighter, and his hand's pretty light as well. So like the scabbing and all that really doesn't take place, and so it's kind of nice to go to somebody that has a softer hand that doesn't beat the hell out of your skin.
Got that gentle touch.
Got that buttery touch. all those little dump volleys.
Oh yeah. Sounds like you should convert him.
He should
Play some pickle. Why not?
Right. Hit some grown up dinks. Okay. So just go ahead. Talk to me.
I was just going to ask you. So just getting back to WPC just real quick. So it's going to be the first time that the drop serve, so people can start breaking that out, I believe. What are you planning on throwing a couple in? Or are you going strict serve like you have been?
I think you know exactly what I'm doing.
Okay. I was just wondering if maybe you'd throw one in there for the heck of it. Up 8-1 in singles, not gonna just throw it in for a highlight reel.
The old Zane.
The Zaner. Yeah, see if you can work the backspin. I'm not Zane, if you're listening, I'm totally gonna try to steal that at some point. I haven't put in the reps yet, but
plagiarizing at its finest.
I will steal anybody's stuff that's better than mine for sure.
Talking about this last episode, you find it and you keep it.
You don't have to be a pioneer in every way.
Yeah, you don't have to be a pioneer.
If somebody's doing something better than you, plagiarize.
Hey, you know what Rob Cassidy says? You find it and you freaking keep it.
You find it, you keep it.
Okay, simple as that.
The Cassidyism.
But I dabbled with it a little bit, like the idea of it. I think that I can get more power, but I don't know. I've been playing with serve out of the air for the last 4 or 5 years. It's done me pretty good to make a change like that in a month, and then to think that in a big match late in the game that I could trust that. I just don't. I don't believe it quite yet. I don't believe it quite yet.
And maybe you're in a similar boat to me. I'm going to wait till somebody kind of masters it. If I see somebody's getting a lot of free points and clearly they're showing the path of how they do it, I'll definitely consider it. But, right out of the gate, it's not clear how much of an advantage it is yet. So for me, I'm going to wait.
Yeah. I'm going to throw a little plug out there. I just received some compression boots by a company called Air Relax. You guys should go check out those boots today. You can go to getairrelax.com. Gentleman who helped me, his name is Dr. Greg Song. But Mr. Song, super cool dude. Actually met him in Kona a couple years ago, and then he always sets up a vendor booth at different tournaments. He was recently at the APP tournament. I got to use those boots before I played Zane in the finals. Definitely helped. But if you guys are looking for any sort of added recovery, or maybe you were looking at Normatec boots, which are like $1,500, get Air Relax, or Air Relax compression boots are about half of that. I believe they're anywhere from like $499 to $699. So if you guys want some cheap boots that are high quality, and also too, they are like double the power as well. So you can go all the way up to 4 bars or up to 2. They have localized pressure, or they have full boot pressure. They even have arm boots. I'm not too aware of any other compression boot company out there that has arm boots. So kind of funny. Meg has a photo of me in these arm boots, and like my arms are like straight and I can't move. I'm like a snowman.
You look like the Michelin Man or something. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But, I'll have to check those out. So he sent you a pair?
Yeah. No, they're super nice.
I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
borrow
Snag.
those from you and test them out. I saw those at the APP. It looked pretty nice.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah. So if anybody, I guess, wants to know more about compression boots, basically flushes out lactic acid, flushes out inflammation, gives you that nice little added 10 to 15% of lower extremity recovery. And yeah, I mean, just nice to wake up with your legs feeling refreshed and not feeling like a train and hit you. You know, I'm a huge believer in if I can feel 10% fresher, it makes sense for me.
Well, that's one thing where you have been, we'll throw out the term pioneer a little bit again. It just is in your body preparation, right? Sprinkle it in there. Is in your preparation about, you know, getting to tournaments a couple days beforehand, making sure. I know that you invest, I've traveled with you. You'll spend the money and invest in a massage, you know, the night before a big event. And, you know, when they're packing that much play, that much pickleball into a weekend with, you know, with singles, mixed, and then men's, you usually make a pretty deep run in each. You know, people obviously are, you know, asking you for what your secret is. I would say one of them, just having seen your schedule, is investing, you know, money and time into making sure you feel physically your best.
Yeah, for sure. I think most athletes out there that are playing at a pretty high level strongly believe, you know, with all the recovery stuff, that it obviously plays a big part. Some things that I use Beamer therapy. I use a SIA, cell replacement water, use the compression boots, do IV drip as often as I can. I was doing the floating salt pod from time to time. I didn't feel a huge difference from that. The floating salt pods have like 2,500 pounds of salt in there, and you can kind of float around in there and hang out. My brain's a little too squirrely to just float around for 30 minutes in there. I have way too much going on. I have way too much going on upstairs.
They need to let you have a device or something. Right. You're like, I need some entertainment.
Something
30 minutes it's an eternity to ADHD people like you.
Something just to conk me out. But yeah, I think any sort of recovery like that is definitely very beneficial. Want to give a plug to there was some new podcasts that actually just got started this last week. The first one is called Around the Post. I believe Johnny Pickleball is hosting that, and then Kyle Yates is also involved in that podcast. Last night they were talking about, or they were ranting about USA PA Pickleball, talking about the new rule change and Kyle's rant of the week and all that fun stuff. And then also too, APP kind of has some new stuff going on. They have it's under the umbrella of the APP TV. But they have the cooking show, they have the instructional stuff, and then they have a podcast, and it's called Get the Point. And Get the Point is by your very own Dave Fleming, who knows a lot about yard sales. Is that a yard sale?
Is that a yard sale?
Can you don't have to
give people a little bit of the inside joke there.
You don't have to mention who, but can you just tell the story?
Okay, so APP Masters a couple weeks ago, we were down in Florida, and we were watching the matches live, so we weren't hearing the commentary. So it was after the day was over. We went back and watched a couple of the matches, and there was one match in particular. I guess we're not mentioning names, but a couple people that we know pretty well, and it was pretty entertaining. At one point, one of the players was digging through their bag on a timeout and just coming up with pulling just about everything out of there, trying to find something. And Dave, who, if you know him, obviously, I think he's a comedian as well as a great player. So, pretty sharp, but pretty quick witted, and just goes, is this a yard sale we're having here? What is going on? And so, we definitely butchered that joke, beat it to death over the last couple of weeks.
Lead tape falling off the paddle, shit classic. Coming out of the bag.
Oh no.
So freaking circus out here.
Equipment falling apart, pulling everything out of there.
I have totally been there. Something that I continue to do, and every time I do it, I think of Leia, is when I'm at tournaments, and God, it pisses me off, and I find myself asking Meg where my phone and where my wallet is. But instead of putting my phone and my wallet in a small small bag or in like a little pocket. Of course, I put it in the big pocket, and I get done with the match, and I'm sweating. I take off my shirt, throw in my sweat bag, trying to get all my shit together, and then I get looking for my phone, and I'm like, God damn it, got to pull all my shit out of my bag again. Go through my bag. God, just put it in the goddamn small pocket.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who does that.
Tyson,
you're already done. That's your coach's tip of the week right there. Phone, keys, small pocket. I'm done. I'm out. That's it. It's pickleball wisdom right there.
God. My oh my. Just be better. Hey, just okay is not okay.
Not okay. Take it to the next level.
Anyhow, so talking about getting the point. So Dave Fleming had Zane Navatil on there. And it was a fun little segment. Basically, they did like a little video analysis of some points that Zane had at the APP tournament. There were some mixed points, there were some men's points, there were some singles points, and so they just kind of educated people about some tactics or about some things that Zane was doing on the court, and just kind of talked about that. So I thought it was a nice little spin-off.
It's a good idea too. Good idea. I mean, anytime you can use video analysis and get in the mind of the person who's playing at that level, I think everybody wins. Everybody learns something.
Yeah. Take a look at our campers. I mean, how much do they get from their little voiceover over dinner, after, and even just like a 5-minute little spiel of watching themselves, and maybe it's watching themselves through a lens of like technique, or watching themselves through a lens of court positioning, or anything along those lines. But yeah, there's definitely something to be said, and plenty of value in looking at yourself and watching yourself play.
Well, I think so many of us, myself definitely included, are visual learners, right? So we can retain or understand so much more when we're not just talking about something, but being able to see a match or see ourselves specifically being filmed.
So camp corner, we got some camps coming up. First camp coming up is the PPA Phoenix camp. We actually have very good signups for that camp.
Awesome.
And anyhow, yes, we're looking at anywhere from 20 to 24 signups already. Cammy McGregor, this is the first time that I've said this. Cammy McGregor is going to be helping us with that camp. So love me some CM. Cammy is not only is she a great player, but a very educated pro. She teaches in San Diego, and she also was not a bad tennis player. She was a very good tennis player. I believe she was top 100 back in the day.
Yeah, she's a stud. She wins just about everything pickleball related that she enters, knows her stuff, and then has one of probably the best tennis resumes of anybody doing the pickleball life these days. So total stud. I haven't taught with her yet. I'm excited to get a chance.
So that's one of the guest pros that we're gonna have. Also, Kyle McKenzie's always with me. The
can't get rid of me.
The professor is always bringing the goods. Let's see. And I will be announcing the other guest pros within the next week. Once we get some more signups coming in, and once I kind of have a general idea on numbers. Camp after that is the Chicken and Pickle Camp in Wichita, March 3rd and 4th. And then St. George, Utah. That's in conjunction with the PPA tournament. That's March 15th and 16th. Kyle is leading a Spokane camp. That is March 17th and 18th. Have good signups for that camp already. We're going to be in Palm Springs, March 18th to the 21st. Crummy thing is that I heard BNP got canceled. So anybody that would love to take my camp, do know that BNP is not going to happen this year. Dang it. But for all the listeners and all the viewers out there, do know that every single year that I have this camp company, we will always be spending at least a week in Palm Springs in March. Why? Coachella, BNP, pickleball, all the above. Anyhow, so we're always plan on Tyson McGuffin signature PB camps being in Palm Springs, running anywhere from 2 to 3 2-day camps back to back, and making good usage of our time down there. Maybe hitting up Coachella, or seeing Mr. Nadal hit some banana forehands.
For anybody who's never been to Indian Wells to see the BNP Paribas Open, I've been maybe 3 times before I even got into pickleball, and it's probably the best experience I've ever had witnessing a sporting event. Watching tennis live is so unique. It's different than going to a football game or basketball game. You're allowed to roam and kind of find which match you want to take part in, and so definitely would recommend. It's a pretty great experience under normal non-COVID years.
Hey, by the way, who's your favorite male player and favorite female player? I've never asked you this.
I mean, I'm a Federer guy, the Fed train. When I got into tennis, being an American and just barely starting to watch was right when Andy Roddick was a stud. And I remember watching, Roddick play Federer, and I think it was a final of, one of the big majors, and was totally going for Roddick. And just gradually, the more I watched, the more I appreciated the game. I couldn't help but become a Fed fan. He just does everything so well. He's so well spoken. So favorite female, I got to be honest, probably don't have one right now. I was always a pretty big Sloane Stephens fan. I liked her game when she's got it all rolling.
Love her game, but get out of her own way.
A little bit streaky, and doesn't seem like she's mentally dialed in all the time. But when she has it all rolling,
talented. Right.
Pretty big fan of Sloane, I would say.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
How about you? I mean, you're kind of a Nadal guy, right?
Yeah. That inner true self loves to be a dog. And I would say that like a lot of my fight and, grit, just that aspect of like wanting to compete, wanting to fight, comes from wrestling, but also too, there's a very large slice of, Rafael Nadal in there. So yeah, I would say at my true core, love Nadal, but also too, man, like Djokovic, the guy, I mean, yes, people don't like him, but like, you got to give him credit. The guy hasn't been liked his whole career. And like, I mean, on the court, he's just a freaking stud. I mean, so much grit, so much
ice in his veins too.
Determination.
I don't know if anybody plays the big points better.
I mean, so good. Yeah. And like what he can do on the stretch, like I don't know, like from like a pure athlete stand, like the guy is just a freaking animal. Love Fed too, obviously well-spoken, classy as could be, never sweats. Gosh, I wish I could never sweat. I wish I could just never sweat like him.
Right. The opposite of Federer in the sweat department.
I would say that I fight and I sweat just like Nadal. But on the female side, let's see here. I'm drawing a blank on her name. What's the Romanian chick? She's like 5'6", two-handed backhand, sponsored by Adidas.
Halep?
Halep, yeah.
Simone Halep? Yeah.
I mean, prime example.
Always there.
Yeah, prime example of somebody who's like maximize their true potential. Kind of like a Frank Anthony, like small, very compact. Knows what their strengths are. Is going to fight till the end. No, I've always been a big fan of Halep. Let's see who else is there. Who else is there? God, there's a lot. There's a couple of new young American. I feel like women's or American women's tennis has gotten a lot better, and there's probably like I don't know what, like 5 or 6 U.S. women like in the top 20.
Kenin is
Kenin.
Who else? She's the highest right now ranked. I mean, obviously Serena. Right. I'm trying to think of some of the other ladies that are highly ranked. I mean, I know that there's some
Shelby Rogers, like Madison Keys.
Yeah.
I mean, U.S. women.
It's tough to keep up with their ranking because it fluctuates so much. But those are for sure. You kind of know that their games are there. They're always dangerous to make a deep run. Unfortunately, in the American men's tennis has taken a bit of a step back, unfortunately. But hopefully they'll find it again.
Yeah, I mean, a prime example is Jack Sock. Like I think he went like 6 months and he couldn't freaking win a singles match, but he was like top 3 in the world in doubles. He could slap a serve and spank a forehand. He just couldn't put in 3 balls in the court,
But he was as high in singles as I think he was like top 8.
Crazy, like the year before he was top 20, and then the year after he couldn't even win a match. So I mean, but I mean, take a look at Sloane Stephens. Like she won the U.S. Open. And then I'm pretty sure 3 months after, she hadn't won a match.
Her ranking. Yeah. She went like, right.
Yeah. I think it comes to show like tennis is just, it's a different aspect of like mental toughness. And with how much travel, with how many variables they're, traveling to different countries, playing on different surfaces. I mean, gosh, like you have to be a tough individual to be able to travel and train and do what they do and like keep the level high,
Yeah, it's anybody that's, and we've met a few pickleball people who kind of dabbled with the pro tennis thing for a little while, and I tell you, it's a lonely, difficult life trying to make it. And from what I hear, only really from a financial standpoint, you have to be top 100 to really find, for it to be financially worth it. So you got to love the fight, got to love the competition to choose that life.
Yeah, I think it comes to show too how high the level is at the top. I mean, for like a Jack Sock to be top 10 and then the year after he can't win a match, it comes to show that like even if you lose just the slightest little edge and you're top 10 after losing that edge, you could easily be top 150 or top 200. I mean, it's the level is so stinking good, like in the top 100, and then even like, there's so many little layers in tennis, like the top 100 is one level and the top 50 or, top 200 and then top 300 or top 500. But I know like when I was, I was in Houston a couple years, or I was in Houston for like a year and a half after college, played some futures, played some satellites. I could hang with guys like top 1,000. And like, okay. I could beat guys like top 1,200 to top 1,000, like guys in the top 800 or guys in the top 700. Like I would lose 2-2. So it just came to show like, I mean, even like in the top 1,000, like there's still so many little layers,
Right. So you could really see in people's games the difference between 1,000, 800, 500, 300. There was just little weapons that people didn't have, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, guys who were top 1,000 were totally good, but guys who were top 800 could pop the serve a bit more. They could get some more free points. They're not going to give away so much, and yeah, the level just gets better and better and better. It's scary.
Be interesting to see, 10, 20 years from now, 5 years from now, who knows? But when pickleball gets that much depth at the highest levels, what it'll look like one day. I think it'll get there. Maybe it'll never be a tennis, but I definitely think we're on our way for it being a way more legitimized professional sport in the upcoming years.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, like, something would put like a lot of pressure on me is like, if I was like a top 10 tennis player and I knew that if I just lost the slightest edge that I would lose money and I would be, would be outside the top 10 or whatever. I mean, I don't know, like looking at pickleball and like some of the things I tell myself is, hey, like, even if I bring my B game, I know that I'm going to be successful. Or even if I bring my B game, I know that I'm going to be top 3. I mean, I don't know, like me telling myself that, like literally it takes the monkey off my back, takes so much pressure off of me, but it
helps you play free. Yeah,
for sure. But it comes to show that like the level, yes, it's there in pickleball, but it's not nearly as stacked. Of course, there's obviously not enough money or plenty of other things, but it just, I mean, I don't know, like it takes a lot of pressure off of me knowing that like, hey, I don't have to be super, super sharp to like be in the top 3,
Well, it's probably why partially you and Ben have been so consistent in singles and had so few losses, is because at the end of the day, you don't have to find your A game against most of the competition, that you can just, if you need to, just go with your average or your B game and that'll still get the job done. As better and better athletes come in, more people go full time, we will see more upsets just inherently because of that fact that, going into a tournament, you'll have to aim for your A game and you might produce your C game if you're a little off, so more of those upsets happen when you're aiming for your very best level all the time. You're taking more risk inherently.
Yeah. Get some new blood in the sport, baby. Let's get some new blood in.
Oh, it's coming, Tyson. It's coming.
It is.
It's coming. Get that target on your back ready.
It is coming. Last little camp that we are running in the month of March. Month of March is pretty packed for us. Is we're heading down to San Antonio to the new Chicken and Pickle location, and that is March 22nd through the 25th. So make sure if you guys want to get signed up for a camp in 2021, you can go to TysonMcGuffin.com and get yourself registered today. Invest in your game. Invest in your game. Okay, so Mr. McKenzie, let's get into our topics here.
Okay.
Hey, so give me your kind of scoop on WPC, what your experience was last year, what you liked about the format, what you like about pool play, and then we will get into podium predictions, in which we're going to have the episode leading up to a tournament.
Yeah, so I think this is one of the more fun events for me year round, because partially for the viewers, it is an invitational. So everybody who's playing there, just about everybody that's playing there, received that invite based on some type of ranking, whether it be singles or doubles, mixed doubles, but you have to have an established ranking in order to participate in it. And I love the event as far as they break it up into pools. So you know that you're going to get a certain number of guaranteed matches. All those matches should be highly anticipated because, you know, all the established touring pros are in the event. And it's really fun for matchups. So, you know, a lot of times you play on tour, you see people, but you don't have a chance to compete against them. So this gives you an opportunity for that. Last year, we did rally scoring, which is kind of unique in singles. But I played against Ben and Joe. It's kind of interesting day for me. Not my best moment as a coach or as a professional. I had sometimes I will do a little bit of caffeine before I play a match just to give me a little bit of energy. I overdid it in my first match and definitely had the shakes, and I got destroyed by Joey Farias. Joey's great. He can certainly beat me and beat me badly on a given day, but I think he would tell you that I played pretty awful. And then it was weird because I had a little bit of water, got some food in my system. And then right after that, like an hour later, I'm playing Ben, and I just got destroyed by Joey. And long story short, end up playing Ben very respectably, very, very close. And so kind of I obviously still lost. Ben's pretty tough, but kind of a 180 of a day for me. I also played Eden and was able to play a lot better and got a win over him. So great format. It's fun to have it be a little bit different, and fun as a spectator as well because of the different matchups that you're able to see. What are your thoughts, Tyson? What do you think of it?
I want to give a shout out to Jan Poppy.
Yep.
I would say last year this was the first, this was in 2019 was the first WPC. It was right after Christmas. We actually had to fly out Christmas Day. I am very pleased and very relieved that he's obviously not planning it right around Christmas. Last year. I thought it was a great event. It was kind of crummy and it ended up raining. Obviously Jan and the tournament volunteers and all that they don't have control of the rain there. So things kind of got pushed back. We ended up like having to cram everything on that last day. And then we ended up kind of having to cram stuff late at night. I've never played in conditions where there was so much stupid moisture in the air. And I already sweat like a freaking machine anyhow. So here I am. It's like 100% humidity. It was only like 7 degrees, but the ball was moving like molasses. Literally, the ball was so stupidly slow, and I'm like getting like sheets of water off of my paddle. The ball soaking wet. I mean, it was tough conditions to play in, that's for sure. But I
remember I attempted a speed up off the bounce. That hit the back fence. I was so embarrassed because there was so much moisture on my paddle that it didn't grab. It just catapulted. And you could see in the matches down there last year, I'm remembering pretty patient play. Everybody was pretty reluctant to pull the trigger with all that moisture in the air for sure.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was a well-ran event. I thought Jan did a great job. It was the first 100K featured tournament. I like the idea of pool play. It takes a little pressure off of you. Obviously, if you lose, you just have to be top 2 to make it to that final day. I've always kind of been a fan of pool play stuff. So like that. Like the idea there was more prize money, and it was kind of tricky too because singles was rally scoring. So I think I played 3 people in my pool play. I played Adam, Kyle, and Rob Cassidy. I beat Adam. I beat Kyle like 11-9 in game 3. It was super tight. And then, just with that rally scoring, like put a lot of pressure on everybody in singles, and obviously every point mattered. And most matches ended up like 7-7 or 8-8 or 9-9. So for Ben and I to make it to the finals of that event, it was obviously much more difficult. But we were able to both make it there. He unfortunately ended up beating me, and I ended up taking 2 silvers last year. That was Riley and I's first time playing together.
Oh, nice.
We actually ended up beating Kyle and Ben. Ended up beating him in pool play 15-2. Take that.
And that was like your very first time playing against them, pool play.
Well,
some of the natural chemistry between you and Riley. Yeah.
So that was Riley and I's first time playing together, and then Riley and I's first time playing that pair. I had previously played that pair probably 16 times with Morgan Evans and never won a single game.
Yeah.
Never won a game. And
they were super dominant for
right.
A couple of years there.
But love the format. Always love going down to Pickleplex. Oh no. By the way, viewers,
get your mind out of the gutter.
By the way, viewers, I'm pretty sure you've already heard me say this, but when I first heard about the Plex, for some reason I thought that they called it the Punaplex. So I remember like calling Sue, and I was telling Sue that I had a level up camp at the Punaplex, and she's like, the Puna what? she's like the Pickleplex, you bozo.
That's pretty good.
But always love playing on those courts. Those courts are pretty slow. You kind of have to make adjustments going forward versus, as of now we're playing indoors. It's 50 degrees. Most of the adjustments that we're making is going back because it's like playing on ice. The ball's pretty quick. Definitely excited. I've been working my butt off the last couple of weeks. So fitness wise, on court wise, I'm more than ready.
Love it.
Yeah.
And one other great thing about the tournament too is it does a really good job of showcasing the pros. There's a lot more spectators. It's a lot more about showcasing the highest level of the sport, which I think anytime a tournament now with the PPA and the APP, I just think with the direction of where pickleball is going, when you get the best in the world, make it an opportunity for people to have a great viewing experience. So I think they do a really good job of showcasing that.
Okay. Podium predictions for men's doubles. Predictions.
Men's doubles. So in no particular order, I have you and Andre coming fresh off your win on those very same courts at the APP Masters. Pretty tough to not put Ben and Matt, number 1 ranked team, and very, very tough to beat. And then for me, kind of my sleeper team, if you will, there's so many good teams. There's like 20 teams. I have not seen them play together yet, and I think they will match up together very well, is Steve Deacon and Colin Johns. Colin played fantastic last time I saw him play. He obviously knows how to play the right side very well. I think Steve's preferred side is probably the left. I think they're going to be a pretty natural pairing.
Okay, I like it. Tell me, what pairing do you like better? You like Stone and Deacon better, or you like Colin and Deacon?
I would say nothing against Stone, but I would put Colin and Deacon right now. Just because I think Colin has been more of just the last time I saw him, the word specialist came to mind. He just seemed like a specialist at playing that right side, because obviously he knows with Ben, the game plan is for teams to keep the ball away from Ben. So it seemed like he was really, really tough to attack. He was kind of had that slide and counter with the two-hander down on that side. I just think specifically the way he plays that side, I think probably a little better than Adam on that side.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so and then give me your, you know what, I'm going to give you my predictions. My predictions are Ben, Matt, Andre, myself, and Zane and Jeff, who we just lost to. And we will never lose to again. It's not going to happen, Jeff. Keep your mouth shut, buddy. Keep it shut.
Give you one of these. It's going to give you the finger. Look out.
Yeah.
Look out for the big long finger.
I'm known to wave that finger. Only this one though.
Right.
Only
you and
that
Jeff
one.
will alternate fingers, right?
Eh.
I like it. Yeah, tough team. I mean, there's a bunch of other teams that
Yeah, it's tough.
could surprise people.
J
and
Pat.
Yeah.
Who else?
Who else is on the list there? There's going to be some other sleepers for sure. I think there's something like 20 total.
Yeah,
teams.
no, there is for sure. Okay, hey, give me your predictions for mixed.
Okay, mixed. I have got so I've got you and Catherine. And I think you were mentioning it's the first time you guys have played together. So we'll see how that chemistry is. I have a feeling that you guys will gel pretty dang well. Ben and Simone, obviously dominant, kind of a no-brainer pick for likely to be on the podium. And then I haven't seen this pairing, I don't think, Deacon and Callie Smith. I like Callie Smith's game. She's a competitor. She's fiery.
Get those hands up.
Steve's very consistent. Again, there's a few other teams that definitely could do some damage, but
how many mixed teams total? 24? I think
it was
24.
Yeah, 24, something like that. Yeah, okay. Big long list.
Okay. I'm going Jeff, Jesse, Simone, Ben, and Catherine, and myself.
Yep.
Give me your predictions for men and women's singles.
Okay, so men's. You and Ben, smart money's there. You guys have been tough to beat over the last few years. And so it's really about picking that number 3, I think. And a lot of people might go with Zane or Jay, but I'm going with Ryan Sherry. I've played you enough to know that it takes a pretty high level to be able to get a full win off of you. It doesn't matter what day. It doesn't matter if it's your A game, your B game, or your C game. And,
right.
He just plays, obviously he's local. He knows, the way to play down there. He hits a very, very heavy ball.
Go Gators.
And so go Gators. Also, I think the format favors Sherry. If there's one thing that he doesn't have is maybe fitness to the level of everybody else. So having a little bit more break between matches, I think will only benefit him and help keep his level high. So he's my sleeper. I'm going Sherry.
Okay.
But I might be in his pool, so I might have to end his day early and ruin my prediction.
Ruin his day, okay?
Ruin his day.
I'm going Ben, myself, and Zane. Okay. And then for the women, I'm going Simone, Leia, our girl, who we think is primed and ready. And
I think so.
Vivian David, who last year just put on a freaking clinic. Who is Vivian David for gosh sakes? Last year, nobody even knew about her. And I honestly don't believe that she lost a game at WPC, and she laid the smackdown. Sorry, Lucy, but she laid the smackdown on Lucy in the finals. It was pretty short and sweet. And I mean, granted, there was no Simone playing WPC last year, at least in singles, but Vivian looked good.
But there was still Michelle and Irina, and the other, it seemed like big name lady singles players were there, and she was definitely a dark horse, surprised a lot of people and won it. So not a bad pick. I did not include her in my top 3. Sorry, Vivian. Still love your game, but went with Leia, Simone, and Irina. Went with Irina. She's been playing some pretty consistently strong singles over the last 6 months or so.
I would say Leia and Irina actually play a lot alike.
Very similar. Very, very similar. A lot of that silky smooth touch.
The backhand slice working. Can really carve the backhand slice, and it can also really carve the backhand dink as well. I mean, that kind of goes hand in hand. If you're carving the backhand dink, you better carve the backhand return. Let's see here. Women's dubs podium prediction last one.
All right, podium predictions. All right, so I went with the Waters, Simone, and Lucy, and went with Callie Smith and Catherine for my third.
Yeah, smart. I went there too.
Same.
I think that's smart. Yeah, it's going to be interesting how Lee and Annalie match up to Lucy and Simone. Obviously, the last time they played them was at the Underground event, and I believe Simone and Lucy won 12-10 in game 3. So it's going to be nice to. It's just going to be nice to see the Waters back out there playing, back out there competing, back playing tournaments and stuff like that, and kind of where they stand after, taking last year off.
Yeah, I hadn't seen Annalie specifically play much live until APP Masters, and she looks pretty incredible. She had stretches where she just absolutely took over, and it's scary to think how much better she's just going to continue to get.
Yeah. Instructional Nugget.
All right. Yeah. My tip for the week is about spin. So we get a lot of questions in our camps. Are we going to learn spin, or what? How much do I need to use spin? And so I think in general, just to talk about it, I think spin is obviously a really great thing to have in your back pocket. You see it used at the pro levels and high levels in a variety of ways. But I think at the intermediate and lower levels, it can definitely be overused. So I would say general rule, only use spin when you have time. If you're on defense, if you're robbed for time, you're better off normally going with a flat shot, whether that be more of a dink where you're just putting the paddle face down and lifting, whether it be more of a reset, or whether it be even a punch volley off of a drive rather than a roll volley. You're probably better off going flatter, general rule, the less time that you have. And my tip, I guess, would be, even though spin's important for you beginner players or starting out, trying to add something to your game, master trajectory first. I think trajectory and being able to see ball shape and master ball shape, that matters more than the spin. And after you do that, then you can try to mirror that same ball shape with a little backspin or with a little top spin and add that to your game, but master the trajectory and the shape first.
I like it. So I'm gonna take that same nugget and just add a little technique to it. So love it. So something that we talk about in camps is, you probably can't see my hips here, but if we were taking a look at my hips, outside of my left hip is zone 1, from my left hip, and my belly button is zone 2. All you teaching pros out there, do not be stealing my stuff. Okay, zone 3 is from my belly button to my right hip, and then obviously right hip out is zone 4. So we are believers that in zone 2 and zone 3, just like what Kyle said, to have consistent shape, it would make sense to have the tip of the paddle down. I'm gonna grab my paddle real quick. Hang on.
Yeah, no worries.
I'm gonna pull out the Kyle McKenzie, baby.
You need, when you're talking technique, you need a paddle in your hand. I've been trying to say this for months. You gotta have it. You gotta have it.
So Kyle was talking about obviously dinking with your wrist up and cocked. And that would make sense when you are outside of those hitting zones, or when you're in zone 1 or zone 4, you can be cocking the wrist. But in zone 2 or zone 3, to have consistent shape, it makes sense, especially when you have less time, just to have that tip down. It's easier to get shape. You don't have to add any variables with your wrist. It's a pretty easy move to get to, and plain and simple, when you're cut short on time, and you're not trying to overcreate, and you're just trying to put it back in play, what I trust at 9 on game 3 under pressure, I would rather trust not cocking or not shaping the wrist. I would rather get the tip down, get that consistent shape, and trust the idea that less is more, and that I don't have to add any sort of variables with my wrist, or I don't have to overcreate with my wrist. So know that if you're trying to get more shape, whether you're trying to get more shape on your dinks, on your drop in transition, and you're cut short on time, you cannot overcreate. You cannot add more spin. Think about getting that tip down and trying to make contact in front of those zones, in which are zone 2 and zone 3. Tip down, baby.
Love it. And honestly, I mean, I think that's something, as I've studied the teaching aspect of pickleball, I think is huge, because we've seen so many people, you got their tennis players, they come in, they're super comfortable having the wrist up and cocked, taking that over from tennis. But when they're doing that, when the ball's at their body, it's very awkward because you're kind of getting pushed out of the way. And then you've got the pickleball purists who are taught have that tip down the whole way. But as that ball gets out of their bubble and moving to the edges, it gets very awkward and their consistency goes down. So I think that's a great way for beginning players, as you're thinking about your technique as you dink. Think about those zones.
You know what my dad used to say? He used to say, peck her down, Tyson.
Pecker down.
Pecker down, buddy.
Pecker down. This is the wrestling tip.
In wrestling, that means get your hips in, baby.
All right. I love it.
Get those hips in and stay in control of those hips and freaking keep that pecker down.
Tip down, pecker down.
Okay. Like, subscribe, turn those notifications on. Make sure you guys subscribe to the McGuffin Pickleball Club. Kyle McKenzie, I want to say thank you, brother. Any last little pieces for the viewers here?
No, just excited. Gonna play with you in a couple of days. Get training and let's kill it at World Pickleball down there in Florida.
Let's bring home some hardware.
Let's bring home some hardware. Why not?
Let's do it.
Why not?
Want to thank the viewers this week. Also want to thank the sponsors. In closing here, be real, be cool. Have a great day. At the end of the day, you are just slapping around a plastic ball. My name is Tyson McGuffin. This is the McGuffin Show. We will see you guys next week.
Thanks, guys.